Part 2, Jason's podcast, KRFOradio.com, along with my brother Phil Iacovino at the apartment of Phil Iacovino. This is Jason Iacovino. We're talking Masters. We're still, as we're recording this, about an hour away from the leaders teeing off for the final round at the 2015 Masters. And, you know, I do think, though, Phil, that there's going to be some movement. The old saying goes that the Masters doesn't really start till the final back nine, or the second nine, I guess, at Augusta. And on Sunday, which through 36 holes, I'm shaking my head thinking, I don't know if that's really going to happen.
Well,
I do, though.
I
think there'll be some drama.
Think about it. You got to go through Amen's corner, which, look, there's bogeys to be had there on 11 and 12, and if you don't get your tee shot right on 13, there's no guarantee for a 4.
Right. So,
we'll see how the first 9 plays out. You remember a few years ago, I believe it was 2011, maybe even the year that Rory had the breakdown where Tiger shot. I think it was 5 under through the front 9. I mean, you can get yourself off to a good start. I believe we're going to have to take a pause for a.
No, we don't need a pause. It's just my daughter Lauren there. She seems to be entertaining herself. But look, by the way, another thing, we were talking about Tiger and what he's done this week and, what that signifies. I think, he's played well, and he's played about as well as I've expected. You do realize this is the 10-year anniversary of a moment that to me is one of those you remember where you were moments in sports, which was his chip in on 16 en route to his 2005 Masters title. Where were you?
I was in, I guess it was a city called Al-Qaim, which is on the border of Iraq and Fallujah.
You probably weren't watching it then.
So I didn't get to check in live. And I did see the highlights on SportsCenter, I think online later in that day or something like that. So where I was at that exact moment, it could have been a number of places, but I wasn't in the hemisphere. So
undoubtedly they'll be talking about that today on CBS.
Oh, of course, and the call by Vern Lundquist, probably one of the top 10 sports calls of all time.
Oh, definitely a top 10. I mean, top 5 perhaps, but yeah, it's definitely in the top 10. And again, look, that was a different Tiger. I mean, he needs to get back to that point. But the fact that he's in the mix here, third to the last group, playing with Rory McIlroy today, which is an interesting pairing. That's pretty impressive. It's just what's amazing is that he's 10 shots back. If you're 6 under through 3 rounds at the Masters, you should be within.
Should be right there.
Striking distance. But what Jordan Spieth has done is unbelievable. Any other thoughts before these guys tee off? I know you're on record. You think Spieth's going to win. I don't think Spieth is going to win. That is my gut. I think he's going to, I don't think he's going to melt down like you were talking earlier, Rory McIlroy.
Not an 80, no.
No, but I do think one of these other guys will chase him down, and I do think he'll definitely show me something if he fends off these guys playing in front of him. I'll say this, though, about Jordan Spieth. I like what I see. I like the kid a lot. He's outspoken, which I think is great. It's great for the sport. I love the fact that he talks to his ball. You know what I mean? I do that myself. If you're talking to your ball, that means you're in the game and you're excited about what's going on. Usually you're hitting the ball well if you're talking to it, as opposed to just being stoic and all businesslike and this kind of stuff. Oh, and it brings me to another thought, too. A lot has been made the last 12 hours. I don't know if you saw it or heard about it. Tiger Woods yanking his tee shot on 13 and then dropping an F-bomb under his breath that CBS caught.
Happens all the time, not just to Tiger.
Just so ridiculous. I mean,
watch Bubba Watson's reaction sometimes. He's also very...
you mean Jesus-loving Bubba Watson?
I'm not saying it has anything to do whether or not, it's the persona he's trying to give to the public, but yes, it's a very common occurrence in all sports, not just golf.
You know it, that I am one of Tiger Woods' biggest critics throughout this whole thing. This is ridiculous to make any kind of issue out of this. I mean, it is absolutely... I'll tell you where I draw the line, because I have... his conduct to me is not exactly... it doesn't impress me. Throwing a club is no good on the PGA Tour. You can't do that. And
it's not good on your Sunday
before.
foursome either.
It's not good anywhere.
Yeah.
But an occasional swear word, come on. This is golf. You know what I mean?
Cuss word is whether or not it's an acceptable behavior, it's part of golf. I'm sure Tiger, just like most of us, feel really bad at it. I usually apologize to the guys. Hey, guys, sorry about that. lost it. I'm sure Sergio didn't get any apologies yesterday, but yeah,
Right.
it's part of it. Now I will say this final thought on Spieth: we're going to find out a lot about Jordan Spieth today.
Absolutely.
What kind of a gritty guy he is. To know that this is the most coveted championship in all of golf. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Ben Crenshaw, who we really didn't touch on, his last Masters, is going to go out there. He likes to go out there. I mean, probably not likes to, but he's willing to go out there and shoot 91 on a Thursday. That's how much he likes this tournament. So the guys that still have that chance to go get Jordan, that's how much they want it. I imagine if you get one, the first thing on your mind is how can I get the second one. So he's going to have a huge target on his back, and guys are going to be cheering for him to, I don't want to say play bad, but to give themselves an opportunity to go get it.
If he makes a couple bogeys early, there'll be some people rooting for that just to close the gap here and make this a game. And like I said, if he is able to shoot what he needs to win, which I think 1 under will get it done, I'll be very impressed. I mean, this is a tough scenario, and I do think it all started with yesterday, him saving par in 18 after he had his first real, I mean, you're talking cloud 9 to, oh my goodness, I can't hold a club right now, when he made the double on 17, the way that he made it with chunking a chip and then missing a tap in. That's the kind of stuff golf, like I said, will get the best of them that way. We saw it with McIlroy in 2013.
Yeah, and I'm not in the camp where he says maybe losing last year, because let's not forget here, Spieth was in this group last year. He was 2-shot lead after 8 holes. So I'm not in the camp of, maybe that experience will be better for his career. I'm not going to say it's going to hurt it.
No,
it would have been better as if he would have won.
Right. Well, no, the experience that, the idea is you're going to have bad holes.
Sure.
He was 18 under at the time. That's not going to continue. You're going to have a blip, and he'll have a blip today, and it's how he responds. The fact that he starts the day with a 4-shot lead, gives him hopefully enough of an edge, though, as good as he is, even at 21 years old, to be able to close the thing out, and you think he will.
I do. I have 2 things I'll look for today. I think Spieth will continue the good play. I think he'll hold off the challengers. Another side note, which will be exciting for me, is to watch Tiger play emotional golf again. The fist pump is back. He cares. The candid attitude that he had Monday through Wednesday carried over to the tournament, and it's refreshing to see. So golf is in a really good spot right now.
Well, Tiger Woods is playing good golf, but this is the venue to do it. I mean, you talked about the past champions with Crenshaw. For Tom Watson to come out and shoot 71 on Thursday, at his age, what that tells me is part of the reason that this tournament is as cool as it is, it's a limited field. Step 1 is to get into the field.
It's hard.
Once you get in, there are a lot of golfers on the senior tour, guys like Tom Lehman, who are not eligible, who could be on the leaderboard in this thing.
I don't know
think
about.
so?
I mean,
if Watson can shoot a 71, now I know he struggled Friday, but I think this is not the gauntlet of golf. It's there,
Well, this year it's a little different because it's very receptive. The greens are receptive, and it's playing a little softer. But this is a tough test. This will test you in any way that the committee decides to test you, and I don't care.
Well, what about a guy like what's his name, who went toe-to-toe with Tiger in 08 in the U.S. Open?
Yeah, I read the book by Feinstein, Rocco Mediate.
Mediate. Now, he's on the senior tour. He's a good senior tour player. He's not eligible for this thing. I think he could compete in this thing if he were an invitee.
Well, other than his 1 week to the 2008 U.S. Open, what else can you tell me about Rocco Mediate?
I think he's been, I don't have it in front of me.
I'm just saying, exactly. It doesn't jump off the page. This is a tough place to play. I don't think that just because you're in the tournament means that you're qualified to win the tournament.
All right, we'll get back to the Masters as the podcast rolls along here. The leader's just about to tee off. Next, we'll talk Twins, Jason's podcast, krforadio.com.